So here's a little arpeggio thing for Patcher. Pretty useful, I think. Um, so I've got labs here with the arpeggio tab open. You got just got a piano and just drew some simple chords and turn on the arpeggiator and you get this. And if you want to turn those notes that you're hearing into actual notes in the piano roll, you burn the MIDI and you reset the arpeggiator. So that's one way to do it. And you can also go, I've got the same setup in Patcher here, basically. I'm going to go take the notes from labs, put them in Patcher. Get rid of that. And I guess first I'll unhook the sequencer. So here's, and your Patcher tab has that arpeggiator here, so we can, I guess I'll set it how it was. And if we burn that MIDI, we get the same thing. But there's, what if you want to use the sequencer? So, so this tab here, the wrench, aka miscellaneous functions, it's dealing with the notes like outside of Patcher, I guess. I don't know how to say, like before that, maybe before they get into Patcher or whatever. And when you burn it, it just goes from there to the out. It doesn't like use what's going on in there. So we'll hook the sequencer up. What happened there? To activate that. We want those chords we had. There we go. So you got all kinds of patterns here that you can pick from. Here's our basic. You're not going to get exactly, I mean, I could have to program it exactly what we were hearing before, but so if I burn this MIDI, nothing happens. Same stuff comes out. So what you do is right click on the output here in Patcher and go to inputs, add a MIDI port, and then hook the sequencer straight to the MIDI port. And when we burn the MIDI, you get the notes you were hearing, but they're still going through the sequencer again if you play it here. So you probably want to copy it to a non-patcher instance of the instrument. Okay, so for the fun part, to make this a more useful tutorial, I'm gonna start from scratch here so that it's not confused. So Patcher, you could choose Patcher, or you could also just go straight for the color mapper and save a step. I'm gonna have two color mappers. I'm gonna use them slightly different than usual. And I'll have that sequencer here. And I'm going to have two of them. And I guess we'll throw in some piano type sounding thing. I might do a different one. This was free for a while. This plugin's pretty cool. I think it's like $19 now, but it was for sale, and so I grabbed it. But, so we're gonna send one sequencer to one color mapper, the other sequencer to the other color mapper, and then when we send voice output to, well, let's make the place to send it. So I can send one here and the other here. We'll go ahead and send them to the. This is just for previewing the notes, really. So there we go. I might turn it way down and turn the reverb up and give it a note. That's our default sequencer pattern. Let's give it a chord, actually. How about a ninth? And maybe a little bit of variation here. Okay, so that's enough messing around. Just for an example, so it's not that important. So I'm gonna give one. Do like just scroll the wheel, just put some random patterns. Here's the other one. We'll choose like what's that? Yikes. Yikes. Okay, so if I burn the MIDI right now, all the notes end up the same color, and it's kind of a mess. But what if I want to have them separate? Like, I mean, I could add multiple outputs, but then it doesn't. I mean, I'll show you what happens here. So we'll add another MIDI port and disconnect the stuff. So first one goes to the first port and the second one goes to the second port. We'll burn the MIDI. Same, nothing different happened. Like, we can look at these two patterns. I'll scroll. Here's the first one I burnt. Well, there was like a slight difference, but I don't think that's significant. It's probably just the way the arpeggiator worked or something. But yeah, so like we want different. We want them to end up like different, so we can select one group and get it. The goal is not to even use this patcher thing. You're gonna like copy the notes to a different instrument, right? So let me just go back to one MIDI port here. So I'm gonna hook both of the color mappers outputs to the same port, but on one color mapper, just go to the color tab and change the color. So now when I burn that pattern, burn-to-midi. Look, now they're ready to grab. Like I just click on the orange, whatever it's showing here up in this box, the color. Shift C will select all those notes, so I can cut them and go paste them in a different piano roll. So I got my let's replace that. We'll have the another piano here. We probably want so we'll have like this one here for the other one. Okay, so like that doesn't sound great or anything, but you get the idea. The basically all it is just use the color tab on the color mapper and send it to a MIDI output, so you can burn your whatever you come up with in the sequencer. You can burn it to MIDI and have it to work with elsewhere in FL Studio. Yeah, so hopefully that was educational. Good luck.